You know, the TVs would be like 3, 2. Thank you for it.
You counted us down and everything.
No, it wasn't that. I felt the words. I felt myself stumbling. So, thank you for. Welcome back to another episode of Big and Short of It All. It's too much in my head, man. Welcome to another episode of Big and Short of It All.
What's up, guys? Hello. Hopefully this audio is gonna be better than last time.
I thought you were trying to show your shirt. I was about to say, you showing off your shirt now? I got a shirt too. The Joker.
I can't wait to here I go. Lose weight so I can like wear shirts that I I know they have the shirts of all sizes.
What type of shirt? Oh, you're talking about like, is it a specific type of shirt you try to wear, or just like you try to look a certain way in different shirts?
It's a little bit of both. All the shirts that I would show off before are smaller, so I can't wear them. I wear them as undershirts now. And I want to look good while I'm wearing shirts.
I thought you were trying to say there was like a specific type of shirt. You're like, I'm gonna wear this shirt when I lose weight. Like for instance, me, at this point, I don't know if I'm gonna lose weight, but let's for sake of conversation, I do.
You had been.
I went back up.
All right.
But let's say I did. The shirt I would want to wear would be like the not necessarily a muscle shirt, but one where I wear them now, but I don't like the way I look at them where you cut the sleeves off.
Yep.
I want those with like, yeah. But like I said, I wear them now, but it's just a fat man in a shirt with no sleeves. I had called myself trying to expand my wardrobe. So this was right around the time where I started blowing up, and I bought I'm gonna call it a tank top. It feels so weird. A shirt, white beater, A shirt, and it was with Kakashi on it, and it was like it looked nice, and I was like, I can't wait to get out there, and then maybe 2-3 weeks later, I couldn't wear it. Oh man, I feel that. Yeah. I'm gonna tell you, since we're down this rabbit hole, the shit that gets me, is like I'll go buy like this shirt, right? I find it at Burlington, wherever online. Nice shirt, put it on one time. Oh, I like a nice little shirt. Put that mug in the dryer, and I put it on the next time. Next time I wear it, it's like, what happened?
Makes you want to buy the next size up, but you don't pay attention to fabric, so you get the wrong fabric and it don't shrink.
I was like, it just fit last week. What? I don't know. I don't understand it. What is what it is.
What upsets me is that I had been buying like some of these big shirts that make me feel comfortable, and I had bought 2. I don't know what the from Walmart. Some of them like they're loose fitting, feels good, they're comfortable, and then there's another one that's the same size, but it's like it's restrictive. It's not as flowing.
It's like a straight line.
Yeah. So I went 3 weeks ago to buy some more to re-up, and I didn't check. I just they were made by the same company. They were the cheap kind.
Go ahead.
I buy them.
Go ahead.
I get home.
Say it, James.
I put it on. Long sleeve shirts. I was so upset. Is that what you thought I was going to say?
No, but it be that way sometimes. I'll say this before I go to my little questions.
Okay.
The one thing that pisses me off about Walmart is like I'll go to Walmart and they be like, "Oh, we got these T-shirts on sale, $6." Oh man, obviously I need those.
Yep.
Should be regular T-shirts, knockabout, whatever.
Yep.
I'm gonna get 3 of them. $6, 3 T-shirts. It's like $18, right?
Makes sense.
I get to the cash register. Boop boop boop. $32.50. Like, what? Oh, because your size is you're $12 each for you. What?
I have seen clothes that are more expensive for bigger, but I ain't got that at Walmart.
Yeah, it happens at Walmart. You got to pay attention.
Okay.
You have to pay attention. All right, James.
Go for it.
I got a couple would you rathers.
Go for it.
Since we are a podcast that talks about movie-related stuff.
Yep.
Generally. I mean, we talk about everything, but we usually always come back to movies and TV.
I was going to say, none of my stuff is movie-related either.
Well, you get best of both worlds today, guys, I guess. All right. You want to do 2 or 3?
Let's do 3.
3? All right. I thought you was going to do an even number, but it's okay.
Are you one of them people that don't like their volume on the odd number?
Yes.
So, I know. I keep checking something. So, with my daughter, when she was little, she said she likes her volume 2, 4, 8, and 0. And I was like, I can relate to that, but I also fine with 5 because 5 is like half a 10.
Yeah, nah.
Nope.
I can't. As long as it's on an even number, I'm sure. It don't have to be a specific even number. It's just long. Like, you know how sometimes you just press the volume button, you just go like, 33?
Yep.
And bump it up
One more, yep.
So, all right, first one. I'm interested to see how you answer this one.
Oh, shoot. Okay.
Would you rather live in the world of Harry Potter but only be a muggle?
Oh.
Or live in the world of Star Wars but always be stuck on Tatooine?
So I knew you were gonna say Star Wars. I didn't expect Tatooine. So the good thing is that I have the chance. I could be a Jedi. I can use the Force.
But you can't go nowhere outside of Tatooine, though. Tatooine is a sandy planet, right?
Yes. Where they farm for moisture.
Yes. That's just a crazy sentence. The farm for moisture?
Yes.
Ain't that what Luke is from? Okay. But you could be a part of the pod racers.
That's true.
You know, you'd be a part of that circuit. You just pod race. You'd be a pod racing superstar.
But I won't say that. I was gonna say you, and you know what? Yeah, because I mean, what's the name? Saboba was like well known. Everybody loved him.
I don't know who he is, but I'm gonna just assume he was. Yes, yes, he was.
The guy that like walked on his hands and his legs were up.
Yeah.
I mean, I want the Force, but it's like living in Gary, Indiana.
But because this is true, but you got to look at it this way too. I feel like it's an easy answer, but at the same time, it cannot be an easy answer. Because on one hand, yes, you get the Force, like you said, but you live in Gary, Indiana, or Utah. Or you live in a world where a lot of people have magic and you don't have it at all.
And the thing is, like, I don't think Muggles even know about magic, so it wouldn't be any different than right now.
This is true.
And then you have the looming danger of some man trying to genocide people who don't have magic.
But you don't know this because you're just a muggle.
Exactly. And it's just like, nowadays where, governments are constantly at ends, at odds, and possibly going to war. And, we got these super agents. This is all in my head. Super agents, CIA, FBI.
Yeah.
They're doing things behind the scene where they possibly disarming bombs or stopping this person all day, every day.
And all you know is like, man, I got to pay this utility bill tomorrow.
Exactly.
So what you picking, man?
Oh, okay. Yeah, but I still got to pick.
Oh, you about to say something? I'm sorry.
No, because I feel like even if I had the Force, I could be a mob boss or something. I could run, not necessarily Tatooine.
Oh, so you're gonna be like a Boba Fett.
Yeah, well, I mean,
He essentially was trying to be a mob boss.
But I was gonna say Boba Fett didn't have the Force, but
Well, I mean, I know he did. I'm saying, but that's essentially what he's trying to do in the show. He's like, hey, I'm gonna bring all the mob families together. And we can work together.
Except I can make them. I don't have to necessarily use I don't need them to. Yeah, so I'm picking Tatooine.
Michael, this is a side question. If you did have powers, would you walk around with a cloak like all the Jedi's did?
Hell no.
You'd be a swagger Jedi.
So I almost I know in the books there was a Mandalorian who had Jedi power. The Mandalorians typically did not like the Jedi, so Mandalorian with Force. I keep saying Jedi because
I got you.
Yeah. A Mandalorian that had the Force is something that does. But anyway, so I would try to incorporate the Force with other things. So people, the Jedi, the Sith, even the Sith, they have kind of rules. Like, I'm not going to do this, or this is dishonorable, stuff like that.
Which is crazy to think that they have rules, even though they come off or they're painted as people who don't like rules.
Exactly.
I don't know. Because isn't Sith where they got the ruler 2 from?
Yep, exactly.
Okay.
So I even came up with a man. So he's like not a spy, but let's say not a bounty hunter, but I'm just gonna say a spy. So he's just sitting out here on a ridge and he's trying to infiltrate this base, and he has all these different lightsabers from all these different Jedi and Sith that he's killed. So he has changed them to the point where they're, you could say Shoto, but they're like short lightsabers.
Gotcha. Daggers type.
Yeah, exactly. And so what he would do is through his visor, his helmet, because it's futuristic, he would lock on, not necessarily target target certain people, have his lightsaber like kind of be a helicopter blade up in the sky. So then he'll get down, he'll like get into position, and then all at once the little lightsabers they'll just shoot into these people and then go do his thing.
Never see that in the show, probably.
I don't know how good it would go across. I think it'd be too different, you know?
No.
Yeah.
The crazy part about it is just the whole statement of that his helmet was futuristic when you have a world like Star Wars that already seems futuristic to where we are now.
I didn't mean, you know, I was saying.
No, I get what you're saying. It's just, I'm just, in my mind, that's what I'm thinking, like, because usually when I always think of Star Wars, I think of it being like some distant future from us, but it's really not.
It's actually,
it's like past. But like for that to be futuristic for them, in my mind, I'm just like, man, that's well off.
So which one would you pick?
Oh, Tatooine.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I'm gonna do Tatooine.
That makes me feel better.
I was leaning towards Harry Potter, but then the one thing that you mentioned that made me swap over was the fact of like it's just regular life now. Mm-hmm. So I'm just like, no. Because the first thing I thought about was Tatooine being the sand, and I was like, I don't want to be allowed to sand, but it's either be insane and possibly have powers, or be in a Muggle world. Just regularly, and just not knowing what's going on.
9 to 5, just
9 to 5. Same thing as today. No, I'm good. All right, second one.
Yep.
Would you rather have Wolverine's healing abilities, but always feel the pain, or have the Flash's speed, but you're constantly running late?
Definitely the Flash of speed. I mean, you know,
I feel like honestly, I feel like that would probably fit you more, because you like to just, especially going to movies, you'll be on time.
No.
I'm not saying you're never on time, because you are, but like stuff that where the time is not like in concrete. It's like, I get that.
And it'd just be so cool to have like all these powers. You can phase through stuff. You can. I had a little country twang.
This is true.
Yeah. And Wolverine's, so it's not like you're saying that you have claws on your hand or anything like that. I mean, the only thing that you have is healing. And the upside to that, obviously, is that, you know, you would, I won't say never die, because obviously Wolverine dies, but you still feel the pain. I mean, you can still, like, get something chopped. I don't know how far you want to go, because you didn't say, we don't have adamantium skeleton, so if something chops your arm off, it's getting chopped off. But to me, the bigger thing is almost not immortality, but you get to live a long time. And, you know, for the most part, people aren't necessarily, and everybody goes through depressive bouts. Yeah. So just long suffering, in a way.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the other part, too, you got to think, and this may be a cheat, but Flash does heal pretty quick, too.
Yep, that is very true.
I mean, he doesn't heal like Wolverine, but he just heals faster than a regular human does.
And I didn't think about this, but you know, in the show, when it first started, they used to always talk about how high his metabolism is, which I feel like they didn't mention too much, because that obviously can get very expensive. So you got to have some money to feed yourself.
Of course. Yeah, this is it's crazy to mention that, because like that's one thing I learned about watching TV shows. Is like certain things in TV shows never really come up. Yep. Like unless it's like a certain type of TV show, but just like a superhero show or like a Family Guy or something like that. They never really talk about like, oh, I spent $300 at the grocery store, or it's just like we just always have food. Yep. There's always a meal. There's always a dinner. Now, granted, the meals may not always be like extravagant, but they're always there. There's always a meal. There's always something to eat there. But they don't talk about like, we ain't got it today. Yep. Like that's, I don't know.
Star Labs and that crime, you know, paying good.
Man, they don't get paid nothing, man.
So I did recently watch A Quiet Place Day 1 again. I don't know if have you seen it?
It's on my list though, because it's on not Max. It's on streaming somewhere now. Because I say that because I saw it and I was like, I made a mental note. I want to watch it.
So one thing, you know, you said that movies don't do, but these, it really emphasized where some movies, let's say somebody's running or walking down a hallway or something like that. And there's noises that are inconsequential to some movies, but then they want a Quiet Place. You just knock over a puzzle piece, and that's like the loudest thing in the world. I don't. It's like but in a movie where you gotta be quiet, you can't breathe, or else you get killed. As opposed to you running down a street, and it's not even that loud. I guess I just watched Joker too, so I'm thinking about him running, but he's in the middle of New York and everything's loud. So,
cause my question to you is gonna be like, obviously a puzzle piece isn't like super loud like that, but like I wonder if they emphasize it because of the type of movie it was.
Exactly.
But then again, there are stories where like, there are sounds that me and you can't hear, but other people can.
That is very true.
So it could very well be like if a puzzle piece drops and like it makes a louder noise that we hear, then we can hear, but somebody else can.
Yeah, and then there are other times where somebody's just they talking, so they just talking right, whispering, shh, don't do it.
Yeah,
they're almost the same, but anyway, it's funny that in this little section of the movie universe, noises are different, obviously because the aliens hear better than the noises everywhere else.
Is it? You just made me think about I had to go do my test for the DOT driving thing, whatever. And so there's a test you have to do a whisper test. You ever taken that before? So what they do is, so you're in the doctor's room, right? Okay. So as the little nurse lady comes in to administer the test. So essentially what she does is you sit on the table, and then she goes to like the far corner of the room, which already isn't that far because the room isn't that big, and she whispers a word, and then you have to tell her if you heard the word that she whispers. So like she'll go to the corner and she'll be like, apple. And she'll be like, did you hear me? Like, what did I say? You said apple. Okay, cool. You never heard of that?
Oh no, I haven't. But that sounds so.
It's a whisper test.
I'm a whisper engineer. Like, what do you do for work?
I mean, she's a regular nurse, but like that's part of the test that she has to do. Is like, I'm gonna do the whisper test, where it's like apple. And it's like, because the part that's funny. The reason why I find it funny because it's like the room ain't that big, so it's like her going to that corner and me sitting where you are, and she's whispering apple. I clearly hear you. It's apple.
So at first, I was going to ask, like, does she ask you what she says? Like, if you heard her whisper, then that's one thing. But
she asked you both. Like, she asked if you heard it, then she asked what she said.
That's so funny. I mean, I can understand. Obviously, if you're working, you're driving a big old vehicle, that hearing is a part of driving. Mm-hmm. But that seems very extreme.
This is another thing. I had this one lady. This is because I've had to do because you have to get it done like every couple of years. Mm-hmm. So that every time because your certificate it'll last on like 2 years, and after 2 years you got to do a whole nother physical to recertify yourself. And so I had one. I guess she was like a nurse practitioner. So like she came in, she was obviously I'm not a small guy. Mm-hmm. I have a stomach or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. But my stomach doesn't stop me from driving. It doesn't impair my driving. So she was just like, oh, okay, cool. So she gives me the little paperwork with the certificate because I passed and everything. So I look at the notes. It's like torso, enlarged torso, but it does not affect driving. Why write it on the paper? Why write it on the paper there, James?
You make a very good point.
And I get it. I know I have it. You said because she even made mention of it when she did the test. I was like, oh yeah, because of whatever, because So then I was like, but you made a note. But then at the bottom of it ain't gonna bother him.
I'm tripping on the definition. I mean, I know I was trying to figure out a different way to put it, but that's such a weird way to put it.
Oh, so the wording, enlarged torso?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. All right, last one, Jay.
What about you, Flash or Wolverine?
Oh, me? Mm-hmm. I'm doing probably Wolverine.
Okay. I know you. You want to jump out of a building and experience.
I kind of do. I probably would do some messed up stuff, but because the thing about it is like I don't want to have speed all the time for real. But also too with the Wolverine thing, it didn't say even though like you feel the pain when you heal, it didn't say you always get hurt. It's just when you do get hurt, you feel it. So it ain't like I'm just going around, because I'm just thinking about regular life. I'm not just walking around getting burnt by fire or getting hit by a car. So I'm just like, I'll be all right.
Yeah.
So, last one.
Okay.
Would you rather have the ability to turn invisible like the Invisible Man, but it's only for 5 minutes at a time?
Okay. Or
be able to time travel like Back to the Future, but you always end up exactly 100 years off from where you had intended?
No, that's definitely not that time travel. That's dumb.
All right, what if it's 5 years? So is it the years or is it?
So, no, because I mean, when you time travel, you want to go to where you want to go. Like, you want to be able to pick where you want to go. When you want to go. You just not having any say is so like. I have other questions. So if I time travel, do I time travel 5 years to this spot? Because I mean, I guess if I was to time travel at all, how would you really determine where you go? So I mean, I would think the constant should be that you should move back to where you are.
Well, I mean, if you're doing like Back to the Future, they had like the thing where you could put in a date.
Yeah, and I guess the car, like wherever it disappeared, that's kind of where it appeared. So I mean,
oh, you talking about like actual geo?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I don't know about that.
Yeah. So it'd be kind of, in my eyes, like the blip snapping, and so if you got snapped in the air, then you would appear in the air. So if I appeared here 5 years ago and this building was being created, I get smacked or hit with a crane or something.
Like what's her name? Florence Pugh.
Yeah.
Remember in the Black Widow movie, she walked into the bathroom, she got snapped away, but then like she walked out that same bathroom, but it was like 5 years later.
I remember, the WandaVision, the black girl, but I don't remember Florence Pugh.
In the movie Black Widow?
Yeah, I don't remember. I mean, I remember her in the movie, but I don't remember that specific.
Yeah, it was like towards the beginning, because it was like, well, not the beginning, because it starts off with them young, and you find out they're like a spy family. And then they get older, and so it was like her and I think Natasha, where they were at this house or whatever, because they were going to talk to one of the other Black Widows, because I guess she had got out and tried to talk her back in or something like that. So she just walks into the bathroom when she was looking in the mirror, and she gets dusted, and then she comes back at the same bathroom, but the Black Widow chick they were talking to, she has kids now. She was like, where these kids coming from? I'm married, I got kids now. Yeah. So I guess that's what you're talking about. Like, it'd be something like that.
Yeah.
You want to know a cheat?
Go for it.
So let's say you did the Back to the Future, right?
Yep.
And you want to go to this day, but in like say 2005. If you know it's going to be 5 years off, can you just add 5 years to the time?
That's very true.
But here's the other issue. I just thought about it. Let's say you want to go back 2005, so you put in 2010. Is the 5 years up or down? You don't know.
Okay, so I misunderstood. So I thought no matter when I time travel, it's going to be 100 years or 5 years from now. I didn't know that wherever I picked.
Yeah, that's what I said. That's at the end. It's like wherever you intend to go, it's going to be 5. Well, it said 100. I changed it to 5.
Yeah. Okay.
It'll be 5 years off from wherever you intend to go.
That is better. Because I do still have some kind of choice.
You still going with the Invisible Man?
Yeah. Most definitely.
What would you do? What would you do with your invisibility?
Oh, everything you could think of, and it's not all good.
There's a show called The Magicians. I don't know if you ever watched it, but there's a guy on the show. He can turn invisible, and like he was a pervert. He was a pervert, and then he died, and so now he's just a ghost doing the same thing. But he was a pervert when he was alive. I wouldn't go that far.
Like, I would use it to. I'm sorry. I got some villain tendencies.
It's okay, man. You're gonna give it to your intrusive thoughts. It's okay. It's all good. Man.
I'm gonna do it to make some money. I'll say that because what's the point? Yeah.
Oh yeah, of course, obviously. That's why I would do. That's why if I did a Back to the Future thing, I would do it to get some money. The only thing is, I wouldn't know
Yep.
where I'm going. But I mean, whatever I'm doing, I'm trying to get some money out of it.
Yeah. Yep. I'm not obviously trying to sneak into somebody's place and blackmail them with nasty photos or anything. I mean, I'm ethical.
You could.
Yeah, I mean, you could, but I mean, that's like at some point you gotta put yourself in somebody else's position, or even your daughter. If you.
I get that.
Yeah.
I get that. Okay. Did you have what did you have? You said you had something you want to talk about.
So even though so the three things that I have aren't movie related, but obviously there's Agatha All Along and the Penguin, and then I have seen.
Was there a part of your 3?
No.
Oh, okay.
I have seen. Well, I don't want to say multiple scary movies. I don't. So I just started. I'm almost finished with Salem's Lot.
I heard about that, but I didn't know. I feel like I heard somebody mention that as something I was watching, but I just took it as it was something old as opposed to.
It is. It's Stephen King book, and with Stephen King stuff, they made an old one and then they redid it.
Gotcha.
And I think Eminem had said in the verse, I cannot grow old, or I will not grow old in Salem's Lot. I can't remember like the exact word. I will not grow old in Salem's Lot. So I never knew what he was talking about, but I had heard Salem's Lot before. So now, it's a movie out on Max, and I was like, oh, Salem's Lot. But, Eminem wasn't referencing the future.
Yeah.
So then I looked it up, and obviously it was a book and a movie. So do you want me to tell you about it, or?
I mean, you can give me like an overview.
Vampires.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's interesting.
Cool. Because let me ask you this, because you know how I am with horror.
Mm-hmm.
Is it something that you would think I could watch, or would you think about it's probably too much for him?
It's not. It's no. It's definitely not too much. It's one. I'll talk about that in just a second. But it's very. It's like a fantastical version of vampires. Like lately, they've been kind of grounded, but this one is like old school. Very old school.
Okay.
Yeah. I never read any Stephen King books, and I knew it when I was younger, so I wasn't familiar with anything that he's done. But watching Pet Cemetery, like watching Stephen King movies or adaptations. This man doesn't like kids, or like he has made his fortune off of killing kids.
Hey man. So a lot of people have made a fortune off of saying F them kids. So
I just don't. I mean, that's so crazy and like nobody talks about that. Like when people talk about Stephen King, famous writer, best, greatest of, one of the greatest of his time, and his, but nobody talks about his stuff is about killing kids.
Did he do The Omen too?
No, I don't think so.
I'll let you finish while I look it up.
So Salem's Lot. I enjoy it. I am enjoying it because it's not over.
So I thought you said it was a movie.
It is. It's just like I went to sleep.
Oh, you didn't finish it. I got you.
And I didn't go to sleep because I didn't like the movie. Just me and my sleep schedule.
Yeah, I got you. I have a lot of that.
Yeah. Obviously, I saw Quiet Place Day 1 again, which I didn't like in the first place, and I feel like there's some other. I know I did a review for Don't Speak No Evil, so maybe I'm thinking about those.
Did you refresh my memory? Did you like Speak No Evil? Because I watched the review, but I can't remember what you said.
Yeah, I did. I did like it. Okay. I think like the only thing, and it's not even a bad thing. I just said that James McAvoy's performance wasn't like all. It wasn't. It didn't knock me off my feet like Split did. But I mean, it still definitely had a good performance.
I was talking to one of my coworkers, and he did not like See No Evil or Speak No Evil. And one of the reasons why he didn't like it, he probably would never watch this. Even if he did, I don't think he'd care. One of the issues he had was his big thing was that the husband of
That's why in the movie I said it's very frustrating as a man.
Yeah, he did not like that at all.
No, he do. I'm surprised. It's very frustrating as a man. I'm just gonna say it again. So like he told you what's going.
He didn't go into details. All he said was that like, cause he was like she was she pretty much had to be like a savior or whatever. What she was saying, he had no issue with, like, he has no issue with that. It's just this whole thing was like just the way the husband acted. It was kind of like, come on, man.
And I mean, there's people out there like that. Obviously, there's people that's not confrontational, but not everybody that's not confrontational is not going to do anything if their life is in danger. Like, I would believe most people whose life is in danger, they're probably going to try to protect their own life. Yeah. Even if, not to say that, you know, other people's lives don't matter, but even if, like, his own family, if he was by himself. Now, introducing your family, I would hope that you would find some more reason to fight back.
Yeah.
But this man was just a whole nother level. I
gotta watch it now.
I'm just listening.
Because I heard him say it, and now hear you say it. Now I'm like, I gotta watch it to see it.
It was very fresh. Like, I just wanted to, like, this.
You want to just shake him?
Yes, I wanted to. That's gonna sound weird. I wanted to. I would, if I was her. I mean, I know they got to work together to fight back. So you can't really, mess up your own team.
How were the kids?
The kid, it was okay. I guess there was more than one kid. Did she fight? I'm
talking about just in general, because like the reason why I asked, because like in movies when there are kids, especially movies where they're like intense situations, they frustrate me the most, because kids usually just kind of freeze and like, hey, I need you to go in the closet, do this, that. Oh, why we gotta go?
No.
No, that pisses me off the most.
I feel like she was on the fight back train too.
Okay.
I think she was. I can't remember if she actually did anything physically, but I know she was more involved than a man was.
Okay, that's all I want. Like, cause that, like I said, that pisses me off when I watch movies. Cause kids, they always just like, why are you asking me 20 questions right now? You hear this commotion, the stuff happening. I'm giving you a direct, hey, do this. Yeah. Get under here, be quiet. But I don't know, my doll. I left my doll in my room.
Okay, yep. Like I was getting there. So you must know. So I will say,
this is just from movies I've seen. I'm not even talking about this movie. When something like that happens? Okay. I'm out.
They wouldn't have ever been, I don't want to say ever. They would have avoided all this if the darn kid wouldn't have cared about the rabbit. Like if, but after they came back for the rabbit, then she was fighting. Like you didn't have to deal with that anymore.
Because to go back to not the Quiet Place Day One, but like just the first Quiet Place. Mm-hmm. The kid who dies at the beginning, all because he wanted a little toy that make noise. Because clearly. Here's my thing. Clearly, they've been in this world for some time.
That's very true.
You know this is happening.
That's very true.
You know you got to be quiet. You know the rules. I want this toy that makes noise. You should have died.
So I feel and it's horrible for me to feel.
It's horrible to say that way.
Yeah.
But like, it's also, I feel horrible saying it because of what I'm talking about, but at the same time, because it's a movie, there's like there's a block, because I'm not talking about real life. Mm-hmm. So I'm just like, kill him.
Yeah.
Kill the boy.
And the good thing is okay, I'm gonna get back. So the good thing is that the boy didn't put them in danger. Like he was back, they were ahead. It was for the plot. So I mean, but it's good, and that was probably good for you to watch the rest of the movie because it wouldn't piss you off.
Yeah.
There was one part in a movie that I was watching, and it was like, you need to, and I find myself doing this all the time. Like, hey, you need to go kill this person. I find myself saying this all the time. But I'm like, if this was real life, obviously, I'm not going to tell somebody to go kill someone. Of course. Shoot, what else? Okay, I think I wanted to say something else, but I can't remember.
That's all good. But with all that being said, you would recommend people to watch Speak No Evil?
Most definitely.
Would you from what you've seen so far, would you recommend people to watch Salem's Lot?
Yep. It's vampires. I was gonna say it's not possession movies, but I mean you know how vampires are. So if you don't like vampires, I would say no. But it's definitely not gruesome. It's not like in your face. It's really tame.
Oh yeah, I mean I'm cool with vampires. Like I said, it's not that my thing is not that I don't like horror movies. It's just the ones that it's mainly like possession type stuff. Mm-hmm. and like the whole like spiritual, like those are the ones that get too close. I'm like, all right, I can't. But like I've said this numerous times, and I say it again, like I can't do like possession stuff, but you give me 9 young kids in a cabin that get chopped up, I will watch that all day. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man.
So you probably haven't seen Evil Dead Rise then?
No.
And I was like, that was one of the better movies to come out recently.
Is that the one with the mom crawls out the tub? Oh, she's at the door and she was like, hey, give your mom a hug or let me in or something.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think I saw the trailer and I was just like, I was kind of on the fence. Like, it seems like I watched it, but this is a little bit.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It was pretty good. I enjoyed it. And I haven't seen all the Evil Dead movies. I think I saw the original, like I think they remade like in the 2010s, and then this one.
Okay.
All right. So my three things are about music, and they're just weird. Just bear with me.
All right, I'm listening, man. The same music or 3 different music?
3 different.
Okay.
So I'll just
you gonna give me all 3 and then go one by one, or just?
So Beyonce, Glorilla, and Eminem.
Okay. All right.
So Beyonce.
Gotcha. Beyonce.
Is she a recluse?
Like, what do you mean by is she a recluse?
So used to be, I'm not as into music and the whole music scene as I used to be. Mm-hmm. But I don't really hear anything about Beyonce going out being seen unless like she's on tour. Otherwise, she's just in the cut. We don't know what's going on.
Can I offer an opinion?
It.
Well, not an opinion, but just some information. Mm-hmm. For the record, I hear you. Mm-hmm. I agree with the fact that you don't see her. Mm-hmm. The only added information I would give, and this is just based on what I've seen from online from people who watch it, because I didn't watch it, but like I know she did the whole documentary on Netflix, the college whatever. It was like because she was doing a concert at Coachella.
Yeah, and
they were basically doing like a behind the scenes of her preparing for that, and so plus she's had other stuff that's come out like docu-wise or whatever, just like not like an actual like documentary, but just film stuff.
Yeah,
from what I have seen, the snippets and what I've heard other people talk about have seen or whatever. She don't have time to do nothing. She is busy, like busy working out, preparing. Like when she's on tour,
yeah,
it's nonstop preparation. Her hands are on everything, like putting everything together. It's like even when she did the documentary for the Coachella concert, like she was talking about to the fact that she don't really eat too much because she got to make sure she eats certain things or whatever. Like she got to make sure there's a lot. Like I don't see her having time to do a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
but like to your point, that's usually her on tour. Now when she's not on tour, I don't know what she do. Yeah,
I can see her as like having 3 different eras. She had the Destiny's Child era, and then she had like the solo, which she's still solo, but like the solo era before like I know she had B-Day, Dangerously in Love, like the first 2.
I'm about to say, don't ask me.
And then like she has this era now where she's I don't know, it's just different.
I would classify this as like her post Lemonade era.
Okay, I feel like to me Lemonade, like whatever was, I don't know if B-Day or Dangerously in Love was first or second, which one? But after those 2, like they almost blend in for me. So Lemonade, 4, Beyonce, I think 4 was the name of one of her albums, right?
I don't know. The reason why I was saying if you're splitting the eras, why I would call it post Lemonade is because she had B.A. like her original solos, and then she had some other albums or whatever in between there, which they were decent or whatever. I haven't listened to all of them, so I don't know. Whatever. But I just know post Lemonade. Lemonade is when she first. I think that was like her first like video album.
Right.
And so then after that, she just started doing like a whole bunch of like, she did the King, Black is King thing.
Yep. I remember that.
So she's in this whole nother, you know, doing like songs to Lion King. So it's a whole different like Beyonce era.
I can agree.
Because before there was just like, it was just albums,
Yeah.
tours, singles. Now it's just like, oh, I'm going to do a video album. Now, you know, it's like, okay.
Experimental. Yeah. I agree with that. So obviously I know how human bodies work, but after she had kids, she thickened up, which, you know, what happens with women.
She's slim now, though.
I didn't.
You ever seen her lately? She's like, I just watched a commercial with her for like some commercial. She was walking like a laundromat. She's slimmed down a lot.
Okay, all right. Well, never mind. I'll just take that back then. All right. So Glorilla.
Oh, that was all you had for Beyonce?
Yeah, I just like so. What happened on the way over here? I was listening to the radio station, surprisingly, because I just listen to my music, and this guy named Luke Bryan was saying that Beyonce should have been nominated. Blah blah blah. I think he was just being not political. What's the word? I can't think of the word. It doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. And he was like, maybe she could have come into our world at something like that.
Oh, you talking about the country grammar? Not country grammar. That's an
awards.
Yeah, country. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she been catching a lot of flack for that.
And then, the lady who was, I guess, one of the hosts on the radio station was like, she did. I can't remember what else she said, but at the end, she was like, she don't really come out for us either. Like you don't ever see, I don't know, but she.
Like, what do you mean she don't come out for us?
It was just one sentence, but it made me think like, yeah, she is Beyonce recluse. That was the whole reason, because like you don't really see her out. Like, you see Megan Thee Stallion and all these other artists that you can, Megan was just doing this or Glorilla was just doing that.
Yeah. I mean, I get that, but like, I guess my question to you would be like, if you are Beyonce level or Jay-Z level, like, what are you really coming out for?
I mean, I guess you don't have to keep your name out there, but
your name is always out there.
I don't know, but it just got me thinking. Like that was a very interesting, funny thing to say to me.
Do you think she should have got nominated for a country music award?
I don't listen to country, so I don't know what I would compare it to.
I'm talking about just in general, like because she essentially made a country album, a country music album. You have country music awards. Do you think she should have, or maybe not nominated, but do you think she's the pushback that she's getting? Do you feel like it's at least warranted, or do you think you should have just been like, oh, she made a country music album? It is what it is.
I just feel like I can't speak on it just because mainly I don't listen to country. Like Lil Wayne, he made a rock album. I don't listen to rock, so I can't say that Lil Wayne should be nominated for rock if I can't compare it to. I don't know what rock should sound like.
Yeah, that's why I changed it to say like, do you think at least the pushback is warranted? Like that's why I said maybe not nominated, but do you feel like she should be getting as much pushback as she is getting from the country? Like,
I'm trying to think of it from a different point of view. So if somebody from a different genre came into rap. Usually, we us as black people don't usually listen to, I don't want to say usually, but let's say Linkin Park just decided to well, that's a bad example because they are.
They do kind of rap a little bit.
Yeah. Kid Rock. If Kid Rock decided to come in rapping, and then somebody, let's say, one of the people that you work with say that Kid Rock should be nominated for, I can't say because obviously we know Beyonce is Beyonce. She's this big name, so obviously we're going to want her to, get some recognition. But I will say that everybody I know, I can't speak for everybody. Anybody that I know that listens to country music says that she should stay where she is.
I mean, I get that. I guess what I'm trying to get from you is like to use your example that you brought up with the Kid Rock thing. So you find out Kid Rock is coming out with a rap album, right? Do you inherently be like, oh, he doesn't make rap music, he should be over here, or do you at least like listen to it and like, oh, this is actually pretty decent. Or you like, if it's not good, you don't say it's not good, because I feel like what a lot of country people did, or country music people did, was like, why is she over here making country music? That's my whole thing. Was like, do you feel like that part was warranted, or do you feel like she should have that she should have got the pushback that she got just in general because she made a country album? Or is it like, oh, well, this Beyonce, if she want to make a country album, she should be able to make a country album?
So, I had something to say before, but now that I understand your question, I don't know how to. I'm being diplomatic is the word that I want to use before. I don't want this to seem like I'm being diplomatic. I understand why somebody would gatekeep.
Yeah.
If Kid Rock was going to come into rap, I would, I'd listen to it, just to see, like just to see. I'm not going to automatically be like, no, Kid Rock shouldn't be making, rap music, whatever. I'm not going to gatekeep. I feel like people should be able to express themselves whichever way they want to. Mm-hmm. So I can understand why people gave pushback, but that's very ignorant. It's very ignorant to not, I don't want to say allow, but, to feel that way.
Yeah, I feel the same way, because I feel like at the end of the day, what it boils down to is if Kid Rock made, it's just crazy to think about it. But like if Kid Rock made a rap album, it's either gonna be good or it's not gonna be good.
Yep.
But like I feel like he should be able to do that, just like I feel like Beyonce should be able to make a country album. Now, if she made a country music album, and for some reason it just wasn't good, and the country music world was like, ugh. Like, I can understand it being like, this ain't country. But at the same time, like, there's a lot of country songs, to me, that don't really sound country. But then again, I don't listen to a lot of country.
Yep.
But there are some country songs that are more appealing to me because they have a more upbeat whatever.
Yep.
So I'm just kind of like...
I agree with that.
Is there one type of country? I don't...
Yeah. You can blur the lines a little bit.
Yeah. We let Robin Thicke do R&B. So
exactly, it's not like we consider. I'm trying not to make it a race thing. It is a race thing. Like whether we want to admit it or not, it is a race thing.
It is, yeah.
But one of the best rappers that we, I won't say everybody, but and that's actually going to lead into another one of the. I think I did say Eminem. One of the people that people consider to be one of the greatest rappers is white. So
yeah,
if we can be, and there are some people who do gatekeep rap. But if we can be open, then I don't see why other people can't. I don't see. Granted, these are two different worlds, but I didn't see MGK getting pushed back when he decided to go rock. Exactly.
From rap.
That's very true. I thought about that, but I was thinking from the other point of view.
Yeah,
what if MGK came from pop rock and came?
He went from rap straight to he had. Speaking of Eminem, he had that diss with Eminem. He's like, you know what? I'm gonna go into this hard rock real quick. So I don't know.
Yep. Shoot, I lost something else.
What you got to say about Eminem now?
All right, so I love basketball, and obviously
not where I thought you were gonna go with Eminem, but all right.
I love basketball, and the sad thing is that I know that people have him like one of the best rappers, if not, some people might. Oh, that's the one I want to say. So I remember I was at a barbershop and this one person was saying, M ain't, he ain't this, he ain't that. Shoot, I think Paul Wall better than Eminem.
Ooh,
that was one thing I actually heard. I actually heard that, and I'm sitting there like this kid.
For the record, I'm not saying Paul Wall is a bad rapper. Mm-hmm. But I will not put him over Eminem.
I can't. I'm not saying he's a bad rapper. What I will say is all his verses sound the same.
Hey, I won't say that.
Like if you listen to 3 different Paul Wall, there was like 3 or 4 different lines that you can guarantee is going to be in his.
Well, okay, I see what you're saying. For one, I reason why I'm not saying because I haven't listened to a lot. I don't listen to all Paul Wall.
Yeah.
But I get what you're saying. But if I were to go in his defense. There was an era where there was a lot of chopped and screwed and chunked the deuces, so you go hear that a lot.
Yeah, and most definitely. Like I've listened to albums where this group will take a line that they said in this one verse and make it a whole. Yeah. So I can understand that. So the Eminem thing. So let me preface it. I was doing it before.
This is a lot, but go ahead.
Obviously, people consider him to be, one of the greatest. So he should be on the level, like what's the word? He should be associated with either Michael Jordan, LeBron James, something like that. But I'm not. That's not. That.
No, I noticed what you're saying. I noticed what you were about to say, though. Go ahead. I'm listening.
I was thinking, here I go. Russell Westbrook.
Explain.
All right. So I feel like Eminem, his claim to top his best. It came quickly. So obviously that's not what I would recommend or
compare, correlate.
Yeah. To Russell. Oh my! I always put a W on his first. Russell Westbrook. But so obviously Eminem, he had Infinite, which was was not like his major studio, and then he had the Marshall Mathers LP was the second, but he had one before that. I can't think of the first album. Goodness.
I don't know.
Anyway, so he had one album before the Marshall Mathers LP, which was like his biggest, the one that put him on his map. So Russell Westbrook obviously didn't come out winning MVPs, but once he did win his MVP, it was because he did something that hadn't been done. I'm not saying Eminem did something that hadn't been done, but what I'm trying to get at is that Russell Westbrook right now is kind of, he's lost the title that he once had. He used to, MVP, triple doubles. People used to consider him to be one of the greatest point guards just because he could average triple doubles. That was contentious, though. That was very contentious. Some people was like, So Eminem, greatest rapper. Some people was like, it's contentious, but that's with all greatest rappers. But now Russell Westbrook is jumping from, he went to the Lakers, and people were saying that he was, washed. He can't be, he's not who he used to be. Then he went to the Clippers, and then it was like, oh, actually, he was just being used wrong. He's actually got a good point, like he's doing good on the Clippers.
I feel like he got a bad rap at the Lakers.
Exactly.
That's just me.
And now that he's going to the Nuggets, people don't know like which way he's going to go. So Eminem, after he had a spurt, recovery, relapse, and everything, where people was like, oh, he's not who he used to be, and then now he's on that not the death. I think it's the death of Slim Shady, which was like his Clippers. So now we don't know where he's going to be after this. Like, to me, and I think in general, people feel like the death of Slim Shady was like a resurgence, maybe.
Didn't he come out and say that was like it was supposed to be like his last album?
I don't know if he came out and said, like I said, I'm not as tapped into the rap world, but it does seem like that seems like it could be.
I'm not saying I know for a fact. I just feel like I heard that somewhere where like, or maybe somebody was speculating it would probably be his last album. Because I know he released like he did Death of the Slim Shady and then released like an extended version or something like that. Or he's going to release an extended version.
Probably.
So
I just wanted to know, just based on all that information, would you say that he would be the Russell Westbrook of rap? And I don't want to put. I kind of want to put. Do I put you on the spot and say who would you say that he would be more compared to?
And see, that's the thing. Like I don't feel like I have the. I can see Russell Westbrook.
But I also feel like it's just because M is up there. Like you.
That's what I'm struggling with because I feel like. Because I guess. Especially because you started off saying Jordan, which obviously I'm not going to make him Jordan. Right. But then you go from Jordan down to Russell Westbrook.
That's a big drop.
So it's like I wouldn't put him as Russell Westbrook if we're doing like great players. But with the arguments, I can see how it can be him. But if I had to think about somebody else, I don't know, man.
Yeah. Obviously, maybe not with LeBron, because LeBron and Jordan is like either one of them could be the best.
Yeah. My first thought before you started would be, I wouldn't call him Russell Westbrook. I'd probably make him like a Charles Barkley. Because I know Charles Barkley, he never really got. I mean, he's quoted as being like one of the best big men. Like the great rebounder, but like. he went from team to team, you know, but he was always kind of a star where he went, you know, so he had like a high in his career, but he never got that you know, the final high or whatever, the championship. But I don't see it. But then I was like, I don't see how that would correlate with Eminem, though.
And my argument about Charles Barkley was going to be that he didn't win a ring, but then I was like, Russell Westbrook didn't win a ring. So it's like, how can you compare them to either one of them if they were considered the greatest? So now I just, he can't be Russell Westbrook. It's got to be somebody who, at the minimum, has won a ring.
But I know we're going through weeds here, but like, if we're doing this comparison, so you have an NBA player who wins the championship. Mm-hmm. What does that mean on the rap side, winning a championship? Right,
and I just arbitrarily I just made it, greatest rapper. So I know that's kind of I would, in my head, they had to at least be considered the greatest rapper at some point, which is kind of iffy because a lot of rappers say they're the greatest rapper.
I'm about to say that's a slippery slope.
Yeah.
I would say to me a ring, for a rapper to quote unquote get a ring like a championship ring, or comparable, whatever how you want to say it, mm-hmm. would be like having to your earlier point, his album Marshall Mathers LP being like his mm-hmm. it came out and it took him there. Yep. Like that would be like a ring to me.
Okay, I can get that.
Because you have some rappers who like. And granted, I don't know all the numbers and stuff, but like me, I just take a personal one for me, mm-hmm. like Wale.
Yep.
I really like Wale, but I like a lot of his albums, but I don't hear about people talking about, this Wale album right here.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So, but at the same time, I don't know what the numbers could tell me different. You could actually have a lot of diamond. I don't know.
Right.
But you don't hear people talking about Wale.
And that's the thing about Eminem. Like, no matter what you say about how bad his albums are,
you got that Marshall Mathers.
No, I'm just saying, every single one after the Eminem show. So Relapse, Recovery, they all did. Like, people listened to it. People they sold whenever they were like CDs. Like, they did well. So you can't. That's not even something that you can necessarily.
Yeah, no, I get. So that's I would say that's the equivalent of an NBA player getting a ring, is like having that album.
Yeah.
Like, because I feel like that's the one knock against, like, we want to switch sides for a second. Mm-hmm. That's one of the one knocks against like Nicki, where like a lot of people try to say Nicki is like one of the greatest female rappers of all time, which I'm not saying there's not an argument there, mm-hmm. but like at the same time, when you look at her albums. I mean, again, I don't know the numbers. Could very well be making a lot of numbers.
Yep.
But I don't hear a lot of people talking about how great this Nicki album was, because it was just, that one Pink album, boy.
Exactly. And my thing is, like, I know people that are like, man, Nicki is this, Nicki is that, Nicki is the greatest. So it's like, I want to get their opinion, but I feel like they're biased. Like, I feel like they I don't want to say hype the album up because it's Nicki, but it's like,
I don't know.
Maybe it's just appealing to, like, I don't think that they could be impartial.
Yeah, no, I get that. I don't know. For this podcast episode, mm-hmm. he will be Russell Westbrook.
Okay. Yeah, I almost want to say, that we can anyway.
I mean, we can come back to it, but like I said, I feel like I need a little bit more time to think about that. But for right now, I'll let him be Russell.
Okay.
Second off, you're just gonna slip that information in there. He went to the Nuggets?
He got traded to. He signed with the Nuggets.
Mm-hmm. When did this happen?
This offseason, did he get traded? I don't think he got traded. Because, the Nuggets, they lost Contavious Caldwell-Pope, they lost Bruce Brown, and, like, they haven't really done anything.
You know what? Now that you mention it, I feel like I've heard something about that. Because I remember watching the video talking about how that, I did hear about that. Because they were talking about how it was going to work out, because you got, like, Murray and Westbrook, they played pretty much kind of different.
Yeah.
Than each other, but then because Nuggets is their big pick and roll team, and I don't know if Russell is a big pick and roll player like that.
I'm guessing, and this is the Lakers said they want Russ to be Russ, even though they were doing other things. I didn't really pay attention to the Clippers because I just don't have any faith in the Clippers, so I can't say. Obviously, he had a resurgence, so he seemed to be in a better mindset with the Clippers. So
he was balling with the Clippers.
I wonder if him coming off the bench, he can just. Obviously, we don't want him chucking up shots and just being the passes prime Russ, but in a way, I feel like they do want to just let him do his thing, and maybe they adjust. Just like, hey, we're gonna see how it goes, and then if you don't, obviously they're gonna have the coaches Mike Malone's gonna have some kind of say, but I don't. It's almost like they lost their bench identity. Yeah,
because they didn't really have like a strong bench for real.
No. I mean,
which kind of hurt them in the long run.
Which, when they lost Contavious Caldwell Pope and Bruce Brown, that's when they really,
Side note, we don't have to talk about this long because I know you got one last thing you want to mention. But I was watching a video, they were talking about Russell Westbrook.
I'm glad, thank you, because I struggle with that name sometimes.
And they brought up a question, I can't remember, because they was comparing him to a certain player.
Okay.
And it brought up a question, not based on the comparison, but just because the guy came up. Do you think Derrick Rose should be in the Hall of Fame?
Shoot. I'm a little bit...
Youngest MVP, 22. 3-time All-Star. First whatever, NBA, All-NBA team. I don't know how many times he did it.
So
that's about it.
So me, being a Chicago Bulls fan, being from Chicago, I feel like I should give him more grace. But realistically, the only thing that had his, was being the youngest MVP.
That would be in my opinion, that would be the strongest argument for making him get in the Hall of Fame. But outside of that,
exactly. So I personally, I'm. You can call me whatever you want to. I almost feel like, Dwight Howard did end up getting a ring, which, a ring is a ring, but he wasn't the man. He wasn't the star, the number one.
Yeah, but when you add a ring on top of his already, the credentials he already has, so that's different than like, he won a ring in his 12th year, but he ain't really been doing nothing this whole time.
Yeah. So before he won a ring, I was one of the few. I won't say few. But I don't know how many people out there, but everybody was like, he had a Hall of Fame career. So I didn't think that he should be in a Hall of Fame, even though I know he had his Defensive Player of the Years, whatever. So him getting a ring, I feel like that adds to it. Derrick Rose. As much as I like Derrick Rose, as much as I love what he did for Chicago, I do not. See, me, I'm more grappling with getting his number retired. That's the one that I'm.
I feel like that should be a given.
So, it is the number one, and number one is so common. Everybody gets the number one. It's one of those numbers that's like just.
Yeah, but like it is common. But when you think of it, you're also going to think of him.
Yes. I'm just going to go ahead and address your question. No, I do not think that he should be in the Hall of Fame.
I don't either.
But the Basketball Hall of Fame is notorious for being easy to get into. So if he isn't now, there's as the years go on, I feel like there's possible his chances increase.
I feel like if he were to get in, I feel like a lot of people will be voting based off he had the potential of what he could have been, as opposed to like just based on what he was before he got hurt. Because I mean, maybe a whatever statement, but like he ain't necessarily just trash now,
right?
But he ain't what it. He's definitely not the. He ain't. He wouldn't be somebody I would just want to have on my team. But if I had him, I'm not going to be upset.
Yeah. My thing, like, it just sucks because if they would have had an expansion by now, so many players that aren't playing, and we know we had this conversation, they'd probably be on a team. I mean, I'm not saying that they would be starting. I'm not saying that they would be, rotation. But I'm sure, I wouldn't say DeMarcus Cousins, but Carmelo might be. Maybe not now, but
I think Carmelo's settled with the fact that he's settled in his retirement. I think granted he retired a while ago. But I get what you're saying. Though.
After he came off the Lakers, then maybe see that's one of those things. Like, did he play? He played on the Lakers, didn't he? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like it's so weird. Like
everybody played for the Lakers at one point in time.
So anyway, so I feel like Derrick Rose. If we had an expansion team, I'm sure they probably would have picked him up. Maybe not in rotation. Maybe just coming off the bench. Maybe possible. I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah, that's what I say. Like I was gonna say, he's not bad, because he still like he gave like 50 points. Like I think like last year, so he still has some good numbers in him. Mm-hmm. But like he's definitely like he fills a slot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, what was the last thing you want to talk about?
All right, so it was about Glorilla. I know what I want to say, but I don't.
Yeah, Glow.
Oh, hold on, ho.
What?
It's a new song that she just dropped the video for today.
Oh, okay. I hadn't seen it.
This song. So Lotto, one thing I don't, or is it Sweetie? One of them. I think it's Lotto. Every song that Lotto puts on the radio is just like I won't say remake. It's like she's redoing an old song. And it seems like every single song she puts on the radio.
Okay.
So Glorilla did that with this Hold On Ho. It's a DJ Unk song. My issue is that she didn't change the hook at all. She just took it. Maybe not her. Like maybe somebody who made the beat. Maybe they put it on there, just sped it up a little bit. There's like, what are you doing? Like you're not going to like add some words, make it your own. Nothing.
Can I give you pushback, James?
Go for it.
She is not the first person to do that in the rap industry.
Which is very true.
That's what I guess I get your point, but at the same time, I'm also thinking like I'm trying to figure out why you're frustrated because she's not the only person that does that.
Because I'm not saying that I'm like a big Glorilla fan. I'm not saying that I think that she's a great female rapper. I mean her songs can be catchy. I've liked some of her songs.
I've fucked with her, bro.
So for this to happen, I'm like. Like I already tried listening to her albums and the beats feel like they're not finished, so I can't listen to it. But I do recognize that like the Go Meg, like that part is real. I'll get up and dance to that part.
I fucks with you, Glorilla. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Now the part that I don't know how I should feel about. I'm kind of attracted to her. Like, what's
wrong with that? Because she is an attractive woman.
So now I'm about to say, some. I'm not big on a lot of tattoos. Like she has a lot of tattoos, and
yeah. Let me go tell her. I was just trying to refresh my memory because, like, I hadn't seen her in a while. But like from what I can remember about her, because I just usually listen. I just listen to music without watching a lot of her videos.
Yeah,
but. But I'm just you do your thing. I'm just a research real quick.
And whatever. I'm grown. I'm a man. I'm fine. It doesn't it's not. It's not like I'm. If she was like, hey James, I want to be together. I'm not gonna be like, nah, you got too many. No, I'm not that childish. But she also doesn't seem like she looks like she has a little bit of tomboy in her, and. While what she raps about guys and all this stuff, but going through the things that I've gone through, I'm very wary about tomboyish girls, blah blah. So that part, whatever. If she's, if you like what you like, I'm not gonna knock you for it.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you all the things. It's like she's cute. I like she's cute. But then it's like some of these things are like just like. But anyway,
start nitpicking.
Exactly. But I'm still attracted to her. And then she got chest and while it doesn't look bad, I personally I didn't. I guess you could say she looked like a little boy, but I didn't have a problem with her before.
Yeah, I feel like you said this already, but I'm just to reiterate.
Go for it.
So with all that being said, if she wanted to give it to you, would you give it to her?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's all. What are we talking about here then? That's all that matters, yeah.
And then she was on Instagram Live and she showed a video of her twerking. I was like, ooh yeah. All right, girl.
Oh yeah. I feel like I would have pictured you as like a Coil Ray type of.
Oh no, that's nope. No body shaming.
Because she's slim.
I'm not body shaming. That's I need more.
I mean, she's slim. That's what I'm saying. Cause I know you like the slim.
I used to. I don't.
Oh, you going away from her?
Yeah.
I get you, man.
No,
I feel that. Yeah, she is small.
Yeah.
Yeah, she is small.
Like I probably back in the day, I probably would be more attracted to her. But
I got you. Okay, I feel that, James. I feel that.
Which is, I'll just to give you all an idea. I guess I would have picked. I'm going to say this. Like I'm not entirely convinced about Megan Thee Stallion, but as far as body types, I would have picked Coi Leray over Megan Thee Stallion, but I'm more of a Megan Thee Stallion person over Coi Leray now.
Hey man. You slowly but surely coming to that BBW side, boy.
Most definitely.
Remind me to show you this video when we're done. Okay. I find it hilarious. But yeah, man. Anything else you want to talk about?
Agatha All Along.
I guess we can end with that. I don't know how long we've been talking, but we'll end it with that.
Yeah. All right. So everybody is just enjoying. I'm not saying I'm not enjoying the show, first of all. But people they seem to be enjoying the show more as it goes on. And
I'm in that camp.
Yeah, and I'm not saying I can see why. Like the show is fun. Excuse me. Obviously, they told us what we were getting into. You're going through some trials. So the fact that you're like going from one thing and doing something, it seems I'm okay with the premise, but I think the thing that's making me not like the show is that I don't like the characters. I can't say I don't know. I can't tell you any of the witches' names besides Agatha and Rio. And to me, they're not likable. Like I don't care for the black girl. I don't care for the Asian. I don't care for the old lady. Like I did like that 70s show lady, but they killed her off. I don't like the others.
Do you know what you don't like about them?
Yes. Let me see if I can describe it. So the black girl, she's very the kind of comedy that you see nowadays from young people. She's but she is queer, I guess. So I think that may have something to do with how she's talking and acting.
What makes you think she's queer?
I think she said it. Maybe not in the show, but like in real life. Like I follow her.
But what they got to do with the character though?
The way so it's so the comedy is like.
But you bring real life into the show, Jay.
No, but it contributes. Like I'm sure they picked her. Like the superhero genre, they have their what's the word? They're doing politically correct things, which is
I get that, but that has nothing to do with the character though.
But who she is being represented in the character. So I don't care about her,
But how do you know that though, James? Has she come out on the actual show and said, "Hey guys, I like women"?
Yes.
When?
Okay. Let me. She didn't say those exact words. So let me. But so when Aubrey Plaza popped out the ground, she said something like, "I don't know if I should hate her or if I should get her number."
Yeah, but that doesn't necessarily mean she's queer.
In an interview, she said that anyway. So that's fine. I understand what you're doing. I understand what you're doing. But just so I remember, it was I think maybe the second episode. Something happened, and then she said something. I was like, eh. And so it's her acting, the older lady that's not really. I think the older lady is probably the least of the not likables because she seems like she isn't. She seems like she's acting naturally. Like she's acting how I would expect her to, but she's so in the background that I just haven't really connected with her.
Okay. What do you mean by how you expected her?
An older lady who, I'm not going to say that she's past her prime, but she's like, I'm just, I don't want to say here to fill a quota because I just feel like there's a quota going on. But I'm older. This is a younger show. I'm just here. And I feel like she's filling her role well, but I just haven't connected with her.
James. I thought you would be one of the people, man.
What kind of people? What am I being?
You are, right now, you're being the type of person not saying this is who you are, but just the way you're explaining it. You're being one of those people where like, I don't like these characters on the show because of all these other things that have nothing to do with the show.
So I'm not saying that I don't like the black lady because she.
You're not like the characters because of nothing. Everything that for most of your examples are like, oh, this outside the show example makes me not like this character.
No, that's not what I'm being. What I said is I don't like how they're acting.
Yeah, but you're saying it based on stuff. You just said you said she's acting because she's filling a quota because she's I'm in this young people show. That's has nothing to do with the character.
That seems like how she's acting. Like and nope, she's not out here like, okay, I'm this seasoned witch and I feel like I know better. I know more than all these other people, so I'm more in the forefront. Hey, you shouldn't do that because I know more than you do. I've been doing this longer than you have. That's not what this is. That's not how she's acting.
So here's the thing, Jan. I get that, but maybe that's not the character she's supposed to be.
Exactly, and the reason that I'm not enjoying the show is because I don't care anything for her. She's so in the background. That has nothing to do with her being like the outside factors.
Okay, I give you that.
So the black girl, I don't care what she does outside the show, but when she comes in, I don't care. I don't care. She can be queer. What I'm saying is that when she's in the show, the jokes that she's given is very modernized. It's very, what's the word? It seems like it's appealing to the younger audience, the people, and the jokes do not resonate with me.
Okay.
So I'm not connected with her because she's cheesy. The way she's acting is cheesy.
So you're not connecting with the writing of that character, the writing of her jokes.
Yes. So
there's nothing about the character herself that you can attach to.
Not as a person, no, but just how she's acting.
Okay. I give you that. I just know you started off by saying like all the interviews and what they said outside the show. I guess I feel like that's probably why they picked her. But and she seems like she like it seems natural to her. So like the way she's acting, it seems like I don't feel like it's forced. I feel like, that probably is, and I've seen her. I don't know if she's in Saturday Night Live. I think she's in Saturday Night Live. Well, she is a comedic actor.
Yeah.
Or actress. She does a lot of comedic stuff. Was at least in the improv world. So like I could see how they would pick her because of that. But like at the end of the day, I don't think they picked her for this character because of her life. And I'm not saying that's what you were saying because it sounded like that's what you were saying at first. Because it's like, oh, well, she's queer. We're gonna cast her for this role because of that. No,
I don't think that's why. I don't think they made the role queer and then they said, "All right, let's get her because she's queer." That's not. I'm saying I don't think she used these exact words, but let's just say that something happened and then she's like, "Okay, Queen Slay." Something like that's.
But here's the thing, James. A lot of women say stuff like that aren't queer.
Which is true. I'm not saying that I don't like her because I just don't like the way she's. I don't. No. I don't connect with her.
I agree. I get what you're saying. I'm just simply saying like and again, I'm not saying this is what you're saying. I'm just, to your point, I'm just saying a lot of women talk like that aren't queer.
And I did say that she's acting more like modernized, like the younger audience. She's targeting the younger audience.
Well, and that's the thing too. Like it is at the end of the day, it's a Disney Plus show. Yeah. So like they're gonna try to appeal because I get because here's the thing, I get what you're saying because to a certain degree I feel the same way you feel, not about this show but shows in general a lot of TV shows that I watch, especially on like Disney Plus or like whatever, like for instance the Goosebumps show. I watched it. A lot of the stuff on the show had to do with like teen angst or whatever, all that kind of stuff I don't care about, but like the plot, characters, I'm cool with that. I'm into it. Like I can move past it. I don't care. As long as you're able to do that, at least see like, okay, this is a well-written show as far as like the plot, what's going on. I'm cool.
Yeah. So if we were to So the Asian woman, she's been in the background, but now I'm just thinking about this, that maybe it works because the coven, you need more than one witch. I'm not saying that they got all these people to extend the episode count, but each person is getting their episode. So if you just disregard all that stuff, Asian woman having a curse, her mom doing this, like I like the story. I do like that. But after this is done, then she's going to go back into the background, and then I'm not going to care about it anymore.
Well, and then the thing about it too is like at the end of the day, it's a show about Agatha,
which is true. And
so at the end of the day, they are side characters on the Agatha show. So as long as you know enough about them to, like what happened in their backstory and stuff like that, or they have stories to tell themselves, that's cool. But at the end of the day, the show ain't really about them.
Yeah, and I understand that. I know.
You just don't care about the characters.
It works within the context of the show. Like what they're giving us. Mm-hmm. They're in a coven. They're going down these trials. You need all these different kinds of witches. It makes sense. And if the show is about Agatha, we have all these little side, which, like I said, it makes sense. Mm-hmm. Would I rather have something that's more Agatha-centric? I'm trying to understand how that show would be. Like how would that change things? But it doesn't matter because this is what we're getting. So let's approach this from what we have. Mm-hmm. Agatha still has her thing going on. I was about to say, you probably heard rumors. Have you heard what people saying that Apple Plaza is? Mm-hmm. I'm not going, but she has this thing going on. There's a possibly a romantic side under, which is fine. But that's almost like I do like what's going on with Agatha. Mm-hmm. They showed some boobage. I don't know why I was like, oh, I'm not mad at it, but I was there. Disney is being more risque with they're what's the word?
They're pushing boundaries.
Thank you. Yes, that's exactly what I was trying to say. But then we got this other stuff to go through. So I'm just waiting for the end. That's what it comes down. I'm just waiting for the end.
Why are you waiting for the end?
Because all this other stuff, sure, like it resolves. Like the curse was lifted for old girl. The other girl, she obviously hasn't gotten the magic back, so she's gonna possibly get something at the end. Maybe she dies. Who knows? I'm just waiting to see how it all ends. Because all this other stuff is just, hey, this is the episode of the week. Not necessarily the villain of the week, but it's like the trial of the week, and it's just obstacles to get to the end, and which is fine. Like I said, I enjoyed the Asians. The Asian, and I hate to say it like that. It feels
Alice.
Thank you. I don't know their names.
Alice, Jen, and Lily?
Thank you. I enjoyed her. Even though at first I knew it was music related. Obviously they're in the studio and they just took so long to get there. But I enjoyed it.
Hey man, I hear you, bro. I feel like you. And correct me if I'm wrong. Mm-hmm. I feel like one thing that you have to not come to terms with, but like think about like is that. And again, I'm not saying you don't think this. So if you do, let me know. Mm-hmm. All these Marvel shows are not going. All of them are going to be for you.
Which is I can understand that. No, I don't. I'm coming to them with an open mind because remember I didn't really want the Agatha All Along thing and I was excited. Mm-hmm. So yes, I understand. I mean, I am a target audience, but they're also trying to be inclusive, and whether that's I don't mean that, and I don't want to go back to the queer thing, but yeah.
No, I'm just coming from not even from that side, but just to like for instance, okay, like. I personally love the Miss Marvel show, but I understand it was targeted to like a younger audience,
right?
So like a lot of other people are probably not gonna like it,
right?
Especially people who have comic book knowledge of Miss Marvel, because from what I heard, it's not a 1-for-1, which most of the stuff ain't. But so as long as you realize like this ain't for me, you like it's like I'm not saying don't because like you said you came with open mind, cool. But if you don't like it, like this ain't my thing.
Yeah, and I don't think I'm liking it less and less. So I'm sure by the end, like if the end just sticks the landing, maybe it'll like make the make the rest of the show better. But I'm notorious for saying like obviously the end can't save like the first hour was boring. The end doesn't mean the first hour wasn't boring.
No, I get you.
But hopefully they stick the landing.
But I think for me is like goes back to my overall point of like just not today, but just I've said this to you multiple times whenever we talk about movies and shows. For me, one of the biggest things that I look for in a show is, or the biggest thing that gets me into a show is if I'm invested in the story and where it's going. Mm-hmm. If I'm not invested, I'm like you, I can care less, but I'll watch it. So as long as if you get to the point where like you're invested, that's cool. But if you're not invested, I can see why you're like, that's a little bit less than less. Because your investment isn't there. But like me, I'm invested in it. Not to the point where like, oh, I can't wait to, well, maybe I am like that because I definitely want to see what happens next episode. Mm-hmm. But like my investment level is up. Yours is kind of like, you came out the gate like you didn't have an investment level because like you said, you didn't think it should have been a show. So it's almost like they got to basically prove to you why the show even exists out the gate. Okay. And then it's like once the first episode once you first watch the first episode, it's like, all right, and you watch the second one, it's like that's a little bit better. But after that, it was kind of like, I'm cool.
So I think it's the opposite. Actually, I think I'm invested in Agatha's story, and I'm going to say this, and I don't want you to feel like I want everything to connect, which it doesn't have to. Mm-hmm. Like the Agatha, everything that's going on in Westview, I wouldn't expect it to spill out to the rest of the MCU. Mm-hmm. So everything that's going on with these other witches, I can understand if it's self-contained in this show. That's fine. But I do care more about Agatha because she's a bigger player. She has interacted with the Scarlet Witch. So I care about that. But what I was just thinking is that this is like anime. We have, hey, this person who, let me step away from anime. Just going for what the show is. This person who has been cursed to not know who she was. Mm-hmm. She got a memory back. So like the main story has started over again. But now we have filler episodes. So we're doing, it's not flashbacks, but if you think about anime, we have these filler episodes that we're just taking detours and we're putting off the main story until the end. So maybe I didn't think that till now, but maybe that's why I'm not as interested in these, because I care about Agatha and I just want to see, that's the part that I care about. Mm-hmm. So I am invested, just not in what's these other people who I don't care about.
You're so invested to the point that you made the other witches episodes filler episodes.
Yes, that's exactly what.
Because they're not filler to me,
yeah.
But to you they're filler episodes because you care so much about the main arching story. I get that.
I hate I don't feel like any of these. One of these people could become her side character. Let's say all of them. I would say Wiccan if he is Wiccan, but Wiccan would probably be her side character. But I was gonna say maybe the black girl becomes her Wong.
Side note, like with the whole Wiccan thing, I don't. At this point, I don't know if he's Wiccan. Mm-hmm. If he is Wiccan, cool. But like at this point, I feel like they want you to believe he's Wiccan, or at least some form of like Billy or whatever, or Nicholas Scratch. I feel like they it's like they want you to believe that to the point that I'm just like, it can't be that obvious.
So just in this little bit of time that you said that, three things came to my mind. So one, they have said that he's not, Nicholas Scratch. He's not her son. Mm-hmm. But that could be, it could be saying that, and it could be, it actually could be him. It could overall, I think I said this before, it could be a Ralph Boner thing where he ends up being nobody. But obviously, it could be like you're saying that. I really would hate for it to be a Ralph Boner thing, but I think it has to be Wiccan. There has been leaks that came out with the Funko Pops. I don't know if you want to go all that far.
Yeah, I'm cool. I've heard the one with
Aubrey Plaza.
Yeah, but which looking back at the last episode, it would make sense if that's who she is. But I don't. Like I say, I don't know, man. If he is, I'm cool. I don't care. But at the same time, it's just like it's like they keep trying to, like, hey, what happened to your son? What did you put the sigil on me? I was like, y'all, it's like y'all really want us to think this. Yeah. But I don't know.
But I mean,
I don't know.
But it makes sense, obviously, if it is Wanda's kids, and this is a Wanda, I don't know if you want to say Vision, a trilogy. So, I mean, it makes sense that they are sowing the seeds for it to be Wanda's kid.
Yeah. Or I heard one theory where it's like, because obviously there is, but there is I can't remember the names, but his parents have been cast in the show, the Kaplans. So at some point, we are supposed to see his parents.
Right.
So like I've heard somebody throw out the theory of like his name is Billy Kaplan, but he's not, like he has nothing to do. It's just he just learned about magic, and because of that he becomes whatever.
So that is one of those things where it's like I don't read the comics, so I don't know how to, as Rob, Comics Explained will say, I don't know how to square that circle. If it is Wanda's kid, how is he Billy Kaplan, the son of these other people? So maybe it's like him reincarnated. I don't really know how that goes. With magic, I mean, comics, they're always retconning, so I feel like it was a whole bunch of retcons where it is confusing. I mean, Wanda was at one point a mutant, and now she's not a mutant. So, but the MCU is trying to make it. They did kind of imply that she is a mutant now. So it's does that mean that she's going to be Magneto's daughter again? Where are we going?
Well, see, and that's the reason why the video I was watching, it came with that theory of him just being a kid named Billy Kaplan, because it was pretty much like an easy way to kind of streamline the history, because the name Billy Kaplan comes with so much whatever. It's like we're just gonna make him Billy Kaplan, and he found some magic, got interested, got into this whole world, and now he just becomes Wiccan somehow, whatever. So like, it's a streamlined way of bringing them in without having to push all this other history that hasn't been talked about yet into the world.
Which I would agree with, but in Multiverse of Madness, they already showed, the other universes where Billy and Tommy were Wanda's kids. But was she in a hex, or was that real? They never said that. Okay. I feel like it was real.
It's a theory.
Interesting. Okay, I'm still out of it. Whatever they give us is what they give us.
Yeah, man. I'm trying to tell you that for you.
Some of those things you can't change. So you just got to take what they give you.
That's all you can do, man. You either like it or you don't.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, you don't have to read them now, but like I made a post on TikTok, and we can save it for another episode. But like, basically, I posted a picture. And it was like 8 like post-credit scenes. And I asked people like which one had, they thought had the most potential. And I'm just going to give you the 8.
Let's go.
So it was Spider-Man Homecoming, the jail scene when, what's the guy's name? Wings?
Vulture.
Vulture was talking to Scorpion. Then you had Doctor Strange where Barry Mordo killed the guy who had magic that allowed him to walk. Yeah. So you had that one. You got Eternals, the Harry Styles showing up in Eternals. Okay. You got the Shang-Chi.
With his sister?
I'm very excited about that. But the one where Wong shows up and grabs him. Yeah. Because it's calling out to somebody. Yeah. Quantum Mania. All the Kangs. You got the Broker.
Yes.
Captain America and Winter Soldier. You got Moon Knight, the British. Was he British?
Oh, the third
personality? Yeah. And then you got, what's his name from Thor Love and Thunder, Hercules.
Yeah, so I knew you were going to put Hercules in there.
I didn't put this together. Yeah. I got it from somewhere else.
So I automatically feel like I didn't care for the Hercules one because I want to say it's derivative, but it's like I feel like that was a continuation of Love and Thunder. So I would not have liked that story, movie, whatever, especially if it was Taika Waititi. I just feel like it was just going to be, hey, let's do Thor: Love and Thunder Part 2.
Well, for the sake of the question, these is we're not. At least this is how I'm looking at it. I'm not assuming that these are going to be turned into like movies, but just like the people or the things that were introduced or now into the MCU world. So okay. like with the Hercules one, mm-hmm. you don't necessarily have to just show up in like a, how about say Zeus?
Yeah.
Thor movie, but like now you have Hercules. You know what I'm saying? So like he could show up somewhere else. I don't know his comic book history, so like I don't know who he works with or how he whatever. Right. So but now he's been introduced. So like you could do something with that. Yeah. Now if it does end up being a Thor movie, cool, but like he's just been introduced. Just like with the Bare Mortal, like him going around killing people. Obviously they're not gonna give him his own movie, but like just him being bad in general. Like,
can I see the whatever you're looking at?
Yeah,
because I'm gonna rank them. So me, Baron Mordo, I didn't really have that very high, but I do wish that they would have stuck with Wanda beheading him.
Dang it!
But then that would have been like the black guy being the first person to die. I didn't like the Scorpion guy. He seemed small, diminutive, and putting him in a suit. Sure, that could have made him more and. I didn't care for that. So ranking them. Oh, these are. I didn't like a lot of these.
But that's the whole point of the question. Like, which one you have more? Like, it's not like you pick it from great ones. You got which ones? Because
Sheesh. Okay, so just while I'm thinking, just so I don't have dead silence. So Scorpion and Spider-Man: Homecoming, Baron Mordo, Doctor Strange. Arrows from Eternals. Shang-Chi with the rings calling out. I think that one was probably had me the most interested.
Off that list, that's my number one.
Yeah, but I didn't know where people were saying Ant-Man. I mean, obviously that was like later. Some people said the Celestials. I just thought that you just let the rings be the rings. Why are we adding more stuff to it? I didn't care for it, but it was the one that was like, I want to see where they go with this. So I'd probably say that one.
Yeah. If I had to pick one that went on the list, the movie's on the list, but like we mentioned earlier, that isn't pictured, it would be Shang-Chi's sister. Mm-hmm. I'll watch a show of that.
Yeah.
Like her with the 10 ring. Oh, boy.
I would love to see, this is me trying to get to the end of the good plot. So I want to get to the point where all these everything has been, obviously they're going to establish some more things, but we have whatever the Shang-Chi sister, we have, all this has been realized. I want to just look at it all and just see it. Like I just, can we get to that point? Let's do Blade. Let's get all this out there.
I ain't gonna do it, man. I ain't gonna do it. I don't know.
But one thing somebody did say was like, They said there's this one person who just makes his whole YouTube is just rumors that's going out. So almost every episode just a repeat of what he said last time. And he said, hey, are you excited about such and such? I was like, I haven't been excited about a Marvel thing in a long time. Like it's just things that come out and some of it's disappointing, but it's just like nothing has been as big as No Way Home. Technically Endgame, but since Endgame, I'm trying to separate that. So nothing has been as big as No Way Home, Wakanda Forever, which was less than No Way Home. Like nothing that's topped those two.
Can I ask you a following question? Mm-hmm. So like, in order for you to be excited for something in Marvel done, does it have to be a big something?
Not necessarily big, but with all the duds, I'm gonna call them duds, with all the things that weren't as good, like the inconsistency. With all the inconsistency, it's like I am excited about Brave New World. I am excited about that. Mm-hmm. But with all the inconsistency, when stuff comes out like Thunderbolts, is like, if this was a while ago, I'd have more faith. I'd be more excited about it, but. I mean, with the track record that's been going on, I probably like it, but it's not going to be as good.
I mean, because the reason why I ask, because I get that logic, But like the first thing you mentioned, as far as like you not being excited, went to like, oh, it's not as big as these two things.
Yeah,
so that's why I was like, does it have to be big for you to be excited?
No, it doesn't have to be. I just want something good, quality. Just give me something. I'm not gonna say enjoy, because I do enjoy. Like I enjoyed the first time I watched Venom. I enjoyed the first time I watched Let There Be Carnage. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying I like the movies. I'm not saying that they were good movies, but I enjoyed them. So give me stuff that I enjoy. That's fine, but I prefer quality, like something good.
One last question, and then we'll end it.
Okay.
Is there a difference to you between you enjoying or not enjoying something, or recognizing that this isn't for you?
I can recognize when something isn't for me, and obviously if it's not for me, I'm not going to enjoy it. Mm-hmm. But I can, and usually I will say it, like Barbie actually wasn't for me, and I didn't like it. I can distinguish. I'm sorry, did I answer your question?
Yeah, no. I mean, for the record, it's not necessarily just about you. I'm just curious in general, because it's like I'm just sitting there thinking. I'm just kind of like, in my mind, I'm thinking about like what causes me to enjoy or not enjoy something. And obviously, me recognizing something that's not going to be for me plays a big part in it. But like, just in general, I'm just trying to think like, outside of that, like what causes me to enjoy or not enjoy something. And like for me, like I said earlier, it's just being invested. But like I'm just curious to know, like for you, like what is that? Like, is it like you just not enjoying the story? What's that? I'm just trying to figure out what's that line for you that says enjoy, not enjoy? Like where does that fall?
It's a combination of a lot of things. It's acting, it's pacing, it's a lot of things.
But if you had to boil it down to like, and I know this is, obviously it's a hard question, but I'm gonna ask it. But if you had to boil it down to like one defining, because like I said, for me, like I have other things that take me out, but like for me, my defining thing is me not being invested. Mm-hmm. But like if you had to boil it down for you, like to one thing that takes you to where like I don't enjoy this, what would that be? If you can. If you can't, I understand.
I'm gonna go with acting.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Because shoot. Because I was gonna say jokes too, but not all movies have jokes in it.
Yeah, nah.
So acting and the point of a movie. I'll say the point of a movie.
Okay.
So if the movie is comedy and the jokes don't land for me, then obviously I'm not gonna enjoy the movie. Okay. If the movie is scary and it's not giving me that thrilling kind of feeling, I'm not gonna enjoy the movie. But obviously if it's acting, if it's horrible acting, it's hard for me to kind of get past it.
Okay, I can see that. Well, guys.
Yeah. Thank y'all for watching. I went back to the phone that was kind of going in and out, but I did learn how to lock the focus, so hopefully it does better. So hope you enjoyed the show, the episode, watching everything. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe. YouTube, we have a YouTube, we have a TikTok, we have Instagram, big and short of it all. I'm James, this is Larry.
Yep.
You can find me on Instagram at HAPPEE, _, MILLS.
You can find me on Instagram at DA_Bear, BAR29. I forgot for a second. What?
So if people mess up or something, like if they mispronounce something, or I don't correct them, but I don't know if you said A. You said, I heard BER, but I don't know if I heard you said.
I said BAR.
Okay.
29.
That's weird that it kind of just, anyway.
That's all good. How about you go in the corner and do the whisper test?
Oh my goodness. What the